Alright guys, I hope you can hear me. They're doing some work back there. But this is the OG Harlem. You probably are all familiar with the neighborhood in New York City. I believe it's just north of Central Park. It used to be quite dangerous, very like ghetto, I guess as the kids say, very hoodish. But it's been gentrified over the past decade or two. But this is where the name came from, this very city. In the 17th century, for 50 years roughly. Oh wow, it stopped. I don't have to raise my voice. 50 years in the 17th century, there was a colony called New Amsterdam. Obviously, didn't last very long, but they had a good run. But it was what is now Lower Manhattan in New York City. Also, I gotta say, you know you're in Europe when it's like 16 degrees and you still have people wearing scarves. Come on, that's hot for me. That's why we're wearing that. Now you're probably asking yourselves, Jack, do you see yourself living here in the Netherlands? And the answer is, well, the jury's still out on that because I would have to spend more time in the country to really get a feel of how Dutch society functions and to see if it's, you know, preferable to my liking. So, and I think that goes for just about any country. But it would be nice, you know, I definitely wouldn't rule it out, but you know, it's just one of those things where I'm not here long enough to really get that kind of a feel. So, you know, in case you're wondering, in case you want that answer out of me, or you've been asking that. And now adding on to what I was saying earlier, I'd say there's about a 50 to 60% likelihood I do move to some European country kind of later in life, like maybe 50s or so, 40s at the earliest, whether it's here, Austria, Ireland, wherever it might be. And a lot of that has to do with healthcare. In the US, healthcare is heavily privatized, and even if you are insured, that's no guarantee. You're not immune from all those like crazy premiums and just hospital visit costs. I mean, it's insane. There's so many people who like have to go bankrupt and have to like go to GoFundMe to like help for that insane payment, whereas here, it's heavily taxpayer subsidized and government sponsored. Yes, there is maybe a bit of a cost to it, but like compared to where I'm from, it's largely free. So, you know, that's kind of the main motivator as to like, you know, will I move to, you know, someplace like this? We'll see down the line if I'm still alive by that point. Anyway, enough about me. This is someplace. All right. A lot of algae in this water. Usually there's like a smell associated to it, but not in this case. And of course, it wouldn't be the Netherlands without seeing one of these bad boys. However, contrary to popular belief, this is not where windmills originated. Can you guess where? If you said Afghanistan, you are correct. Anywhere, it was like anywhere from like the 7th to like 12th century, I think is where they first came up in the world. But that's where it was. You never would have guessed, right? In such a, you know, present day war-torn country. But yeah, that's where they came from. Nice little park here. Lots of trees. There's quite a few like sidewalks, if you want to call it that. It's kind of what I was saying, like it's not always possible to stay out of these bike paths because a lot of times like there's people doing deliveries in their trucks or some other thing. So it's like, you know, you kind of have to make do with it. It's just one of those things. It do be like that sometimes. It was foggy this morning, now the sun's out. Now, one mistake I made, bells are still, are we good? Okay. Now, one mistake I made on my second trip to Europe was, oh, I'm an atheist, I'm not going to no church. Well, it's fine. You can do that. You know, you don't have to have like, you can have like a principled stance against religion, but it's cool. I mean, you got to admit, look at that thing. It's magnificent. Now, feel free to go in churches even if you have like the same viewpoints on religion as myself. That's totally fine. And, you know, I was very salty the first time, but I'm a changed man. I've grown up. And I'm open to going inside places like that. And so should you.
That's fine, but if you're wearing it all day,
Alright guys, how many Dutch bands, musicians, DJs, all the like, can you name? Van Halen doesn't count, by the way. I can think of two. Ice MC, I believe is based somewhere in this country, and Clan of Zymox. A lesser known kind of new wave band. They have this one song called Blind Hearts. But if anyone comments, I'd like to know which other ones are there. Again, Van Halen does not count. When you go to many countries around Europe, whether it's here, Denmark, Germany, you'll see these gold plaques here, and what these mean are, in this case, a family of four that was taken by the Gestapo to go to one of the concentration camps. Let's see where they went there, obviously the most notorious of them all. Well guys, I think that'll be it from old Harlem. I will see you someplace else.